Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah. Jazakumullahu khairan for everybody attending. As I said, you're taking out this time, this valuable time out of your lives, but it's going towards understanding the Book of Allah. So no second, inshallah, is going to waste, you know. And for some people, this is a highlight of the week where they learn something about the Quran. So I hope it is. So, good, keep it up. We're on lesson 6. After this, there's only 4 more lessons to go. We are doing the most important bits for Arabic. So let's start. So the first thing we are going to talk about is the homework. So question 1, complete the past tense verb tables for the following root words, it should be. So it's pretty much just writing out that table with your hand so that you get practice, because the more you write, the more practice you get. It's one way to learn. So khalaqa, khalaqa, khalaqu, khalaqat, khalaqata, khalaqna, khalaqta, khalaqtuma, khalaqtum, khalaqti, khalaqtuma, khalaqtunna, khalaqtu, khalaqna, khalaqna. And did the recording as well. I posted the recording today, which is just this table repeated 5 times, I think, to help you just listen and listen and listen until it clicks. And when you start translating, when you start understanding the Quran, you might say, what does hum mean? Then you go, huwa, huma, hum, ya, huma. Oh yeah, it's there. Oh yeah, it means them all, right? This will all happen in the start. You'll be doing this table in your head while you're reading the Quran, maybe, and then you're thinking about that. You're going through the table until you find it, and then you go think, what does that mean? Yes. Go and check it. Yes, it's right. Keep on doing that, keep on doing that. Eventually you will start not needing to do that table in your head because it's already sat in. You will know when you see a hum, when you see a kum, what's going on. You'll know which words come more frequently, so you'll start, it's going to have to be a practice thing, and you'll start understanding then and getting fluent and better, and then you'll be able to start understanding the imam real time in many verses, and then it keeps on going, as long as you keep going, inshallah. So the next one was the same thing with ja'ala. So he made, they both made, they all made, and this is the table for ja'ala. All you have to do is get the root words, put them into the table, into the pattern. So ja'ala, ja'ala, ja'alu, khalaqa, khalaqa, khalaqu, raja'a, raja'a, raja'u. Once you know the root word, you can just pluck it into this table and job done. Endings are all the same, job done. So if I tell you a new word, sami'a means to hear, you should be able to look at the table and tell me, how do you say, you all heard? And it's sami'tum. You just put the tum at the end. So this is the significance of this table. You can put many, many, many root words in this table and you will automatically know the meaning, so long as you know the meaning of the root word. So the third one, C, is kafara. So kafara, kafara, kafaru. How many times do we see kafaru in the Quran? Right? So this template is super important, and I put it down as the second most important table in Arabic, in my opinion. Right? Anybody have any problems with that, or are we happy to move on? Happy? Not happy? Right, move on. Happy, okay. Cool, excellent. How can you tell who the doer of a verb is in a verbal sentence? So you have a sentence, you have a verb, so it's a verbal sentence. How do you tell who the doer is? So remember, please type if you know the answer. Yes. The doer is always, see what the slide says? The doer is always marfu. The doer is always marfu. The doer is always marfu. So when you see a verbal sentence, you see a verb, look for a marfu noun afterwards. Whatever is marfu, it is doing that verb. Right? We did this last week, lesson 5. And the other thing is that the thing that the verb is done to is mansub. That's why we had to learn marfu, mansub, majroor, because we needed to translate verses. Without knowing that rule, you cannot translate the Quran. You're going to struggle on verbal sentences. So the doer is always marfu. The doer is always marfu. The doer is always marfu. Right? And then comes this table. So please, what is khalaqa yakhluqu? Just before we continue, khalaqa is the root word, which means, for this one I'll do it for you. Yeah, okay. This one means, go on then, what does it mean? Good. So it means he created. It's the verb for to create. But khalaqa in a sentence, it means he created. Now, this one here, the one next to it, is yakhluqu. It's the present tense one. We're not doing present tense today, but when you learn a past verb, learn also with it the present verb, because you're going to find out next week why. So don't just learn khalaqa, try to learn khalaqa yakhluqu, both. You'll find out why, inshallah, next week. If you can't, then just remember one of them, khalaqa, right? These root words are important because it's from these root words that other words are generated. If you know the root word and then you learn patterns, as long as you know what the root word means, you can figure out what the word means. Khaliqun, makhluqun, khalqun. Once you know what patterns they are doing, you will know what the word means. So root words are really the essential words you need to know. So these are all root words, and root words consist of 3 letters mostly. In fact, 90 to 95% of root words in the Arabic language are 3-letter root words. You do get 4-letter and 5-letter, you do get more, but this is the biggest bang for the buck, as they say. These are 95 to 90% verbs. So we're just doing the 3-lettered verbs. We're not going to go 4 and 5. That gets a bit complicated. For this course, we're just doing the 3-letter verbs. So khalaqa yakhluqu 240 times. 240 times. That's a lot. In its various forms. Right, next one. Ja'ala. What does ja'ala mean? وَإِذْ قَالَ رَبُّكَ لِلْمَلَائِكَةِ إِنِّي جَاعِلٌ فِي الْأَرْضِ خَلِيفَةً. Ja'ala. What does ja'ala mean? Good, carry on. Good. Good. Right, so it means to make. So he made, he makes. He made, he makes. The root word is this one, he made. This is the present way, present tense of saying it. Just learn them together if you can. Ja'ala yaj'alu. Ja'ala yaj'alu means to create, he created. 340. Next one, dakhala, and this is an Urdu word as well, so is khalaqa, I think. Dakhala. What does dakhala mean? You dakhil into something. Dakhala. Good? Carry on. Good. So dakhala means he entered. And yadkhulu, he enters. So it's the verb for to enter. 124. Kharaja. Again, another Urdu word. Kharaja. Kharij, as I say, kharij ho ja. Even when we do tajweed, makhraj comes from this word, makhraj. Makhraj means the exiting points. So kharaja means to leave, go out. Kharaja, he left. Right? So a lot of people, they kharaja the course. You have to make sure you don't kharaja the course. 167. Alima. Alima, another Urdu word. Alima. That's where you get ilm, alim, allama, ma'loom. That's where you get those words from. Excellent. So alima means to know, to have ilm, because the alim is the one who knows. So it comes from here. And we'll learn some patterns that will show you, you do that to it and it becomes that. Oh, you do that to it and it becomes this. Right. We'll learn some of those patterns as well, inshallah. Amila. What does amila mean? Very similar. Look at the words. One's alima, one's amila. What's amila mean? So Urdu word again. So somebody put amal, which is good. Right, so you speak Urdu, right? Yeah, I suppose so. So, excellent. To work, to do. Amal. And just a side point, which one comes in the dictionary first? Anybody want to know? Does alima come in the dictionary or does amila come in the dictionary? Which one comes first? The lam comes first or the meme comes first? Yes, alima comes first. Yeah? And then amila comes. So it's like maybe a sign that the ilm comes first and then the amal comes. So the knowledge comes first and then the action comes. You can't do an action without knowledge if you don't know what it is, how to do it. So alima comes before amila. Yes, it's amal, same as in Urdu, amal. 306 times. Sami'a Allahu liman hamida. Sami'a mean? Sami'a. Good. Not to listen. To listen is different. To listen is sami'a doesn't mean to listen. Another word means to listen. Istama'a. This one is to hear. Subtle difference, but there's a difference. Sami'a means to hear. Excellent. 116. Right, our word that we know that we should know at the back of our hands now. We've done it so many times. Remember, it's the mosquito we're doing it to. Kill the mosquito. Right. So qatala means to kill. Again, it's an Urdu word. To kill. So he killed, he kills. Right? 89 times. Zalama yazlimu. What zalama yazlimu mean? And if you haven't learnt the words, then just keep on listening because I'm hoping you can start tagging on and learning. Excellent. He was unjust. He oppressed. Oppressor. Sorry, not oppressor. To oppress. So he oppressed. He oppresses. Tyrannical. That's why you say the zalim. The leader is a zalim. Or the person is a zalim. He did dhulm. And the people who haven't done dhulm are mazloom. So those words come from zalama. To means unjust. It means in the Arabic language, it means to put something in other than its correct place. That's one of the definitions of dhulm. To put something in other than its correct place. So you're doing wrong, you're putting it in the wrong place, you're doing the wrong thing. Jama'a yajma'u. Everybody likes this when it comes to money. What jama'a mean? Yep, Urdu word again. Yep. To gather. You jama the money to buy a Lamborghini. Or you Jumu'ah. What happens? People are gathering in Jumu'ah. Yep. Next one. Fa'ala. Alam tara kayfa? Fa'ala rabbuka. Fa'ala. What's fa'ala mean? Yeah, Jami'ah is maybe from there as well. Jami'ah, university, what do people do? They come together, don't they? They're Jama. So fa'ala, to do. Excellent. So he did. Alam tara kayfa? Fa'ala rabbuka? So what's the difference between amila and fa'ala? There is a difference, but I don't know, like for example, jazakallah and ajr. What's the difference between jaza and ajr? So jaza is used, can have a meaning of reward, but good or bad, consequence, good or bad. Well, ajr is for good reward. So fa'ala and amila, they're used in different places. Amila, to do, fa'ala. Amala is maybe more of action, where fa'ala is just to do. Amala might be work, you're working, but fa'ala is to do. So I have to look in the Quran and see where both are used. To make, sorry, to do, to make. Kadhiba. I don't know if kadhiba is a word in Urdu. What is kadhiba? It sounds, to me, it sounds like it as well. To lie, kadhiba. Just sounds like a negative word. So to lie, okay? That's where we get kadhib from, kadhab from, etc. Kadhabu comes from there originally. Right. Right. Done. If you don't know these words, learn. Yeah? Yeah. Right. Next one. So this was the test. I looked at the test last. I looked at the test was maybe yesterday, and alhamdulillah, a lot of people got good marks. A lot of people got good marks, so I'm happy about that. Alhamdulillah. Right. So kataba is the root word. It means he wrote. The root word, he wrote. Somebody's saying that one of the sisters has got a camera on. Please just check your camera. Stick some blue tack on your camera. They can turn on by accident, pressing the wrong button. They can turn on. Your camera image won't appear on the video because the recorded one only shows mine. Somebody wants me to go back 1 second. Yes. These slides will get posted to you, inshallah, so you'll have them all. And they're also in your booklets. Right. So katabtum means you all wrote. You just have to remember that tum added onto a root word makes it you all did that verb and masculine. So all it's doing is regurgitating, reproducing that table that we did. If you learn that table well, these are the same words. They're the same words in the table. So katabu, remember the oo makes it into they all did that verb. So they all wrote. Katabtu, the tu means I did that thing. I did that verb. So khalaqtu, I created. Ja'altu, I made. Zalamtu, I wronged. Fa'altu, I did. Sami'tu, I heard. Right, we're putting kataba in. So kataba means he wrote. So katabtu means I wrote. Masculine and feminine. وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ, and I did not create. Yeah, you know the verse. وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ, I did not create the insan and the jinn except to worship me. So خَلَقْتُ, yeah, that tu is there. كَتَبْتَ is you wrote, male. You wrote, male. Katabna, whenever we see the na, it's us. It's got something, many times it's got something to do with the we, us, right? So it's just a matter of learning. It's just a matter of learning information. Why is it ba? Why is it ti? It just is. That's Arabic. You have to just know it. So kataba means they both wrote. They both wrote. And look at the difference. Kataba means he wrote. Kataba, them two wrote. Can you see the difference? Kataba and kataba mean two different things. So that's why tajweed rules, not reading the Quran properly is very good. Obviously, if you're making mistakes, don't get put off. Read the Quran, correct your mistakes. Yeah, we don't make mistakes on the Quran on purpose, so inshallah it's forgiven. And then try to learn tajweed, so we can read the Quran properly. So kataba, they both wrote, masculine. Katabati, whenever there's the ti, it means you, but feminine. You wrote, but you're talking to a feminine. I think it sounds feminine as well. The ti sounds feminine, the ta sounds masculine. To me, it does anyway. Right? Katabna. Katabna is they all wrote feminine. They all wrote feminine. كتبتن, you all wrote feminine. So there's like a noon of women appearing there, yeah? Noon of women. كتبتما, you too wrote. You both wrote, and it's masculine or feminine. It's the same word for both. And katabat, she wrote. Look, katabati, you wrote. Katabat, she wrote. So khalaqat, ja'alat, fa'alat, sami'at, it all means she did that verb. Pattern, it's just a pattern you got to learn. And last one, katabata. Katabata is they both wrote but feminine. Next. This wasn't in your test. I forgot to put it in your test. Inshallah, I'm going to update the test. I'm going to put this in because this was super important. The doer of the verb is always marfu, and the thing that the verb is done to is always mansoob. That's the golden grammar rule. That's the one rule if you don't know. There's a few other ones, small, but this is the big one. This is the bang for the book. Is that right? Bang for the book. Oh, bang for the book. Right, so this is the important one. Marfu is the doer, mansoob is the thing that the verb is done to. You can see there my computer doesn't recognize the word marfu. I need to add it to the computer's memory. Underlined. Right, next one. Translate this text, and this is what we are doing it for. So, وَذَكَرَ اللَّهَ كَثِيرًا. وَذَكَرَ اللَّهَ كَثِيرًا. Okay, so وَذَكَرَ means and, ذَكَرَ, 3 letters. First one with a fatha, last one with a fatha. It looks like a verb to me. ذَكَرَ is a verb. It means he remembered. Right, you've seen a verb now. Look to see if you can see a marfu word next. Who's remembering? We don't know yet. Just from this verse, just from this part of the verse, we don't know who's doing the remembering. Let's see if we can find out who's doing the remembering. Is Allah doing the remembering? Sister Shahanara, your camera's on. Right, Allah is not doing the dhakara. Why? Why is Allah not doing the dhakara? Why is Allah not doing the remembering? Because Allah is not marfu. Allah is not marfu, Allah is mansoob. So Allah is not doing the verb. But Allah is mansoob. Alright, there's no marfu word, okay? So we don't know who is doing it in these 3 words. But what is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is mansoob. Allah is mansoob. So what does that mean? The verb is being done. It's being done about Allah. Right? If Allah was marfu, it means Allah is doing the remembering. But Allah is mansoob, so it means he, somebody, we don't know who because there's no marfu word here. He, somebody, ذَكَرَ اللَّهَ, he remembered Allah. Do you understand? Someone give me a yes. Yeah, so the word Allah, oh, it's gone. Sorry, it's gone. And for me to scroll back up again is, oh, okay. Let me see if I can find it. The word Allah has a fatha and not a dhamma, so it's not marfu, correct. The word Allah doesn't have a fatha. The word Allah doesn't have a dhamma, so it's not marfu. It is mansoob because of the fatha. Right? So, and he remembered Allah. Right? Allah didn't do the remembering. The remembering is being done regarding Allah. The verb is happening too, you know. So, وَذَكَرَ اللَّهَ, and he remembered Allah kathiran. Remember we did kathiran. What's kathiran mean? Ibn Kathir had a lot of knowledge, remember? So Ibn Kathir had a lot of knowledge. So kathir means a lot. Yeah, much. Right? So I hope you understand that because that's the application. That's the application of this golden rule of grammar. Right? Yeah, aksar in Urdu, yeah? Kasir, I think kasir as well you say. Yes, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is maf'ul bihi for those who want to know grammatically. So Allah is maf'ul bihi. In Arabic, in English, you'll say Object of the verb. Right? Object of the verb, because I get mixed up in English. Yes, I think it's object of the verb. The subject is a doer. Object. Am I right, people? Is it object? Yes, cool. Sister from a previous class from last year. Yeah, cool. Excellent. Right. So this is what, people, this is what it's about. This golden rule of grammar. This is why you learnt marfu, mansoob, majroor, because you wouldn't know otherwise. It'd be difficult to translate otherwise. Next. وَجَعَلُوا. وَجَعَلُوا. What is وَجَعَلُوا? It comes in the top left of the table. وَجَعَلُوا. And they all made. Ja'ala means to make. Ja'alu means they all made, masculine terminology. But we know when the Quran, when it talks about masculine terminology, it's talking about everybody, except if it's specifically mentioned afterwards. Women are mentioned. Then you know that that's one of the sort of ways. So وَجَعَلُوا, they all made. Who all made? Okay, Allah is not marfu. Shuraka is not a marfu, right? So we know, we don't know who. We just know they all made. Maybe the sentence before or the starting of the verse might tell us who it was. But from these words, we don't know. We just know وَجَعَلُوا means and they all made. Lillahi. Lillahi. Allah is majroor here. Why is Allah majroor? Exactly. Fantastic. What else? Who else wants to have a... Yeah, what? Okay, it's majroor because of kasra. Okay, it's majroor because of the kasra. Excellent. But why has it got a kasra there? Yes, you're right. I can't fault you. It is majroor because of the kasra, but why the kasra there? Yes, the lam. This li, it's either a harf jar or it's like a harf jar. It behaves like a harf jar, which means it's one of those majroorifying words. It's one of those majroorifying letters that attaches onto a word. So it's going to make Allah majroor. So وَجَعَلُوا, they made, lillahi, for Allah, with Allah, about Allah, right, unto Allah, shuraka'a. Shuraka'a means partners were made. Look, it's mansoob. So they were the ones that were made. They made, with Allah, partners. The partners were the things being made. It's mansoob. And what else was I going to say? Shuraka is basically shirk. You know shirk? Shirk is associating partners with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And shuraka, as far as I know, is plural. One of those broken plurals. Yeah, like, so this li behaves like it's a majroorifier, like the sister is saying, like fi or ala. Yes. Right. Next one. Inni, indeed I. Indeed I. I know I'm spending time, it's 30 minutes into the lesson, I'm spending time because honestly, this is really important. Inni, we need to know this. Indeed me, okay? Inna means indeed. Inni is a ya. Remember, kitabi, masjidi, baiti. Remember, Lamborghini, remember, means my. So inna means indeed. E means me. So indeed I, surely I. Yep. Amantu. Amantu. What is the tu doing at the end? Amana means to believe. Amantu. What's to do? I what? Yes, I believed. I did that verb. So indeed I believed. She's saying it twice. It's not only saying it twice. Look, it's inni itself is a what do you call it? Emphasis. And then you go amantu. I. That means as well. That means I did. I believed. So like it's a double, maybe, extra. You won't get this in English. Bi rabbikum. The bi is a majroorifier with, like Bismillah. What is it? Bismillah. He. Bismillah Rahmanir Rahim. Yeah, it's he because of the bi. The bi is a attached preposition, or it behaves like one. It's a majroorifier. So bi rabbi, there's a majroor. Bi Rabbi. Oops. Bi Rabbi. That's the majroorness of it. Otherwise it'd be Rabbu. The kum, the attached pronouns, they are so super strong, they don't change. You can't change them. They're not going to become mansoob, majroor, or marfu. They're always just fixed. They are fixed. So kum doesn't change. The B won't change kum. These are super strong, right? If you want to call them, if you want to think of them being Schwarzenegger because he's super strong, right? Then they're them. The attached pronouns are super strong. They don't change because of grammar, something coming before it. So bi rabbi, that's where the kasra comes. Bi rabbi is majroor, and then kum, you all. So indeed I believed with or in your all's Lord. Okay? Next one. Right, so this is one that some people struggled in. This actually comes in the Quran. But because I translated it out of the context, the little translation, I didn't put the Quran there. I just put, but Sami Allahu comes in the Quran, but I just said translate this text because I've translated it not according to the context of the sentence, but just to the literal words. Right, so Sami'a means, what does Sami'a mean? So this is, just imagine this to be outside of the Quran. I'm just translating it outside of the Quran. Okay, so Sami'a means he heard. Okay, who heard? Can we tell from this sentence, do we know who did the hearing? Yes, Allah heard. Why did Allah hear? How do you know Allah did the verb? Because the doer is always marfu. Excellent. So Allah is marfu. So Allah is doing the sami'a. So sami'a Allahu liman hamida. As you say in the Salah, Allah hears. In the context, it's translated to, sometimes past verbs are used for the present tense. And sometimes present tense, I think I use for past tense. Right? But here we're seeing a present, Sami Allahu liman hamida in Salah, we're seeing that in using the present tense. Right, so this is important. So Sami Allahu means Allah, he heard. Allah heard. Look at the next one. I put them together. This one doesn't come in the Quran. You can tell from the font. I typed it myself. Right? I could have done a doctor job there. I could have changed that to a tab, but I left it. Only thought about it afterwards. So Sami Allah. This doesn't come in the Quran. What does it mean? Sami'a again. He heard. Who heard? Who heard? Can we tell from the sentence? Can we tell from this who heard? Can we tell from here who heard? No. Yeah, we know he heard, but do we know who that he was? No. Because there's no marfu word after it. We don't know who did the hearing. Allah. Allah is mansoob. So what does that mean? Exactly. It means he heard Allah. Allah was the one who the hearing was done about. So Allah was heard. No. Yeah, he heard Allah. He heard Allah. And I don't have any problem saying that because Musa alayhi salam heard Allah. Yeah? Musa alayhi salam talked to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So, Sami Allah, you could use it for that. He heard Allah. Right? But Sami'a is in front. Shouldn't it be heard Allah for the first one? In English, when you say in English, yes, this one literally means he heard. Who heard? Allah heard. In English, you're going to say Allah heard. You're not going to say he heard and then Allah heard. You're going to just say it as Allah heard. This one, he heard Allah. This way, it's going to translate in English like that. You're going to say it like that in English. It's not going to be Allah was heard. It's going to be more accurately, he heard and then Allah. Right? So this is important and this is the crux of the golden rule. Allah is marfu, so he's doing the hearing. Subhanahu wa ta'ala. In this one, Allah is mansoob, so he is somebody else, somebody, right? Sami'a, he heard Allah, right? Allah is the one who the verb is being done about. So in the case of Musa alayhi salam, Sami Allah. It makes sense. Okay, so how would you, someone is asking, how would you say she heard Allah? If, we're talking about the future now, in, context can be on the Day of Judgment, for example. How would you say it? I'll ask you guys. The ta, how are you going to say it? What would the verb be for she heard? Sami'at, exactly. Sami'at, and then Allah. So it might be Sami'atillah in the end because Tuman, the way you say it with the ta sukoon. But Sami'at and then Allah, right? And that was very important and it deserved 36 minutes, I think. So, right, I hope you're all happy. I hope you all know where you went wrong in the test. And I hope you know how to correct yourself. And then I hope you never forget that now, inshallah. Because that's the whole point of the tests, to show you where you don't know, to show you where the cracks are, so that you can cement them up properly and be ready. Okay, right, so next one now. Verbs. I'm hoping this is a bit of a lighter lesson, inshallah. So, verbs. We're going to learn a bit more about verbs today, inshallah. So in Arabic, you have two types of verbs. Two types of verbs in the Arabic language. One type is regular and one type is irregular. I don't concentrate on giving you the Arabic terminologies because I don't want you to get more information than you need to understand Quranic Arabic. I'm just trying to teach you the stuff that you really, really need. Right, so regular is, just say in English, regular and irregular. What is the difference? So the difference is this. If one of the root letters is a weak letter. So in Arabic, alif, waw, or ya are weak letters. Maybe you've done tajweed, maybe you've learnt it there. The alif, waw, and ya, you also call them the mad letters, right? But in this context now, these mad letters are actually weak letters. Weak letters. They call it something else. Weak. They call it something else in English. I think they do anyway. Weak, or I think it's just irregular letters. But we'll just call them weak. The weak letters. What that means is if one of these letters appears in the root word itself, so from those three lettered root words, if any one of them is an alif or a waw or a lam, that verb is termed weak verb. It's a weak verb. So qala is a weak verb. It actually, qala, the root letter is actually qaf, waw, lam, right? But anyway, why? Don't worry about that yet. So qala is weak because it's got a waw in the middle, right? Originally it has, right? But okay, you've seen the alif there, don't worry about it. Kana is weak, it's got alif there. Wajada is weak because it's got a waw there. So these are examples of weak verbs because they contain a weak letter. Weak, what do I mean by weak? So what I mean by weak is I'll tell you inshallah, but just for now, they're weak. They are weak letters. They've got there's some issue, there's some problem. So we just say there's some problem in the Arabic language when these letters appear. And we'll learn what problem we have, right? So they're weak, and as a result, we have a bit of a problem. Yeah, qara'a is weak as well, as far as I know. So that's one way to tell if a verb is weak. So far, the verbs we've done, khalaqa, raja'a, sami'a, fataha, amila, amala, they're all regular verbs. Regular are easy. I'll tell you why they're easy as well in a bit, inshallah. Right? The second way you can tell a verb is weak is if the second and the third letters are the same. So dad, lam, and a lam, you just put that W on and you make one lam there. That's really dad, lam, lam. The second and the third root letters, when they are the same, then the verb is also weak. When it becomes weak, you get problems that you have to deal with, right? That's the issue. And I'll explain what the problems are, inshallah, right? So, dalla, dallin, ضالين. Yeah, we say in the Salah. That's a weak verb. That's a weak verb. Verbs still have a meaning. There's still, all that is normal. Still, they have a meaning, etc. But there's a problem that we're going to have to deal with. Right? Everything else is regular. Everything else is a regular verb. So ja'ala, alima, kataba. There's no alif there. There's no waw there. There's no yah there. Happy so far? So I don't know what's going to be in the test because I don't have the test in front of me. But I think I'll be asking you that in the test, inshallah. What is a weak verb? You need to be able to basically select the correct option, which is alif waw ya. Any verb that contains alif waw ya in its root letters, and any verb that has the second and the third letter are the same. Bro Sabr, sorry, I didn't see your question. Dalla means he was astray. Well, ad-dalin, not of those who, and younger, not of those who went astray. If there's more than one weak letter in a root word, if there are any, then it's going to be weak. So if one of them are weak, if it's got one root letter, it's weak. If it's got two, I think it's still weak. Because it fulfilled the condition of having one weak letter. Dalla means he was astray. Hope I answered your question, bro. So, but I didn't even see your question, but you said Jazakallah khair, so that means I've answered it hopefully. I can't see the last two letters being the same. Okay, so if we look at Dalla, you see that shad there, that W, that means you read that letter twice. So you don't say Dalla, you say Dalla. So Dalla, you're really saying lam twice. So really it was Dad, a lam, and another lam. But we just put a shad on, the double sign, and just put one lam there. Right? Cool. And everything else is regular. Now this table you've already learnt. With regular verbs, what happens is you can put any verb in this table, any regular three-lettered verb in this table, and you would have no problem. خلق خلقا خلقوا رجع رجعا رجعوا فتح فتحا فتحوا سمع سمع سمعا سمعوا كفر كفرا كفروا. So the thing with regular verbs is they will all fit in this table nicely, no problem. I give you one. Basura, 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 basaru. Basuru. So I don't know. So it's going to all just fit in like normal. And no problem. I give you any three-lettered one. You should be able to put the three-lettered one in there. Basuru. Can I give you an example of a weak verb with two weak letters off the top of my head? No. Sorry. I don't think I've come across one. Does one exist? Allah, maybe one doesn't exist, I don't know. Yeah, so regular verbs will always fit into this table, no problem, you can do it yourself. I give you ja'ala, you put it in, no problem, you're not going to have no problem. There's not going to be any scratching your head, hey, what do I do here? But when it comes to irregular verbs, the problem is they don't fit into this table fully. They pretty much do, but you have to just make an adjustment. Once you've made that adjustment for that verb, then you're sorted, you're done. It's quite easy after that. But there's a problem presented because it has alif or a waw or a ya. It just has a problem with this fitting in this table, and that's all it is. So a irregular verb has a weak letter. The problem is it doesn't fit into this table properly. You have to make the endings are the same, but you have to make some adjustment. It gives you a bit of a problem, right? That's what an irregular verb does. That's what I'm teaching you. That's what the problem is with an irregular verb. It doesn't fit exactly in that table. You'll see, inshallah, you have to know the adjustment for each verb of the irregular verbs. The good news is there's not that many irregular verbs, mostly all regular. So what the book did is it concentrated on two verbs that come, irregular verbs that come in the Quran a lot. So just getting you to understand, and appreciate, we're just going to go through two verbs, the table for two verbs. It's the same table, but you can have a problem sticking it in, right? So we have to just learn some adjustment for that verb and it's done, right? So I'm just you guys are gonna, inshallah. So what you need to do is close your books. First, close your books. You might see the answers. The answers are in your book. And then open the book at page not many slides this week. Open your book on page 39 so that you're looking at this, and just cover the other page, cover the other side, yeah, because the answers are all on there, right? Page 39, Jazakallah khair, sister. Right, and it's this table here you're looking at, that table there. It's pretty much this slide, right? You can either, do that, because I'm going to change the slide in a bit, inshallah, and put a piece of paper over the slides on the right hand side, because they're going to show you the answers, right? So I want you to figure this out yourself, and please, it's the non-Arabs, okay? The Arabs know the answer, right? If you studied this before, you know the answer. If you know Quran, you read Quran, you might be able to figure it out because these words come in the Quran. Okay, if you don't have a book, then I hope if you're on the just send me a message. Just send me a message. Right, okay. So are you ready? So you're looking at this table that we're seeing now. Now I'm going to ask you to fill the table in for here. The verb we're using is qala. You see qala? Qala means, what does qala mean first? It's the root word qala. What does it mean? He said. He said. So what's going to go into here? Please write it in Roman Arabic. What I'm going to write here. So qala, again, I want to fill this table with qala, but because it's irregular verb, you're going to struggle somewhere. Qala, good. So qala goes here, okay? And just look at that table. Don't look at the answers, please. Qala. Okay, that's the root word. Now we know the root word, we can continue. Ja'ala became ja'ala. Qatala became qatala. Kataba becomes kataba. What does qala become? Good. It's the same. Qala. Same. Kafara, kafara. Qala, qala. So far, so good. Are we happy so far? It works. It's working as like a regular verb. No problem. We're having no problem yet. Good. That's why if you knew last week's table, this one, now today should be a lighter lesson, inshallah. Okay. Next one. Okay, this is already writing the answer. Right? Carry on. So, kataba, kataba, katabu. Kafara, kafara. Sorry, kafara, kafara, kafaru. So, qala, qala, qalu. It's the same. It's the same. Qala, qala, qalu. So far we're good. So far we're happy. If we know the past tense table, then we know qala as well so far. Right. So please, typing wise, please only non-Arabs, yeah? Because I want to see the non-Arabs. Do you want to give non-Arabs a try? Although I know you can't see the answers, but I just want to see, if the non-Arabs are clicking on. Non-Arabs are those people who have never studied Arabic before, or that this thing is totally new to them. Right, okay, so here, remember you put a ta, so this one would be kataba, kataba, katabu, katabat. So the people are saying, good, qalat. That ta comes with a sukoon, qalat. So far, so good. No problem so far. This is really good. Yeah, it's irregular verb, but it's fitting in the regular table, no problem. Carry on. What's the next one? So the kataba would be katabata. So qalat, what would you say? Qalata. Qalata, let's see qalata. Qalata. So far, so good. Fantastic, isn't it? So far, we're just laughing. Okay, then. Now, totally non-Arabs, this one. Try this one. قالت قالنا قالت قالنا قالت قالنا. Somebody said it, but I'm not going to mention it yet. قالنا قالنا. Right, okay, so we're struggling. Different people saying different things. Because normally it'd be katabna. Yeah, katabna. So qalanana. Qalatana. What's going on? This is where you need to learn the twitching formula for the verb qala. Once you know that, then I think the rest is nice and easy. So qalana is not going to work. Qalana doesn't work. You have to do something. Qalana does not. It's not right. It doesn't work. Qalana is no. It does not. It doesn't work. So 2 people wrote, and I hope you guys are non-Arabs. You wrote the right answer. Only 2 people out of about 15 or 20 got the right answer. So that's good, because it shows me you're struggling. قالتنا قالنا. It's قلنا. So قلنا is how you say it. No, it's not قالتنا قالنا. It's قلنا. Now where did that dhamma come from? Why has the word changed? Was the alif gone of qala? It's disappeared, right? That's the issue we have with irregular verbs. They don't fit into the table exactly, but the endings are still the same. But sometimes you've got to make some adjustment to get it to work. Now you know that qaf is a dhamma. That's how you had to get it to fit it in. That's the problem you got with irregular verbs. The ones that have alif, waw, or ya inside them, or the ones that have the second and third letter the same, you're going to have some issue. You're going to say, how can I say that? Qalatana, qalana. How do you do it? It doesn't sound right. So with this one, qulna, okay? Right? So, qulna. Now you know that this adjustment was made. You should be able to rattle it off, maybe. The next one. What's the next one? What's this one here? You're going to use the same formula you've used adjustment there. Exactly. Yep, carry on. So it's the same table as last week. The endings are still the same. It's just that you just one adjustment for qala, you have to make that adjustment there. And then carry that through. Yeah? So it's qulta. Qulta means you said to a brother. Okay? So it's changed, isn't it? It's changed slightly. That's the problem you have with the irregular verb. And each irregular verb has its own adjustment. So you would really need to know all the adjustments, but what this book and this course does is, the booklet that I based it on, it uses qala and kana, another verb, because they come a lot in the Quran. So just concentrating on 2. Don't worry about the others. So, qulta means you said. How do you say you too said? Qultuma. Remember, what do we say in the other one? It's katabtuma. So just tuma, put tuma on the end of qulta. Qultuma. And how do you say this one? No, not qultuma, not qultuma. Exactly. You just put the tum on. Katabatum. It'll be qultum now. That's the endings are the same. It's just you have to make a slight modification to the word because it doesn't work otherwise. Qalatum. Yeah, qalatum. Doesn't work. Qalatuma. Qalata. Doesn't work. It's qulta, qultuma, qultum. Are we covering all slides in this lesson? Yeah, there's only another. I think there's only another slide left. I think. Next one. How do you say you? You said to a sister. Qulti. Exactly. Next one. How do you say you? Exactly. Katabtuma is the same, so qultuma is going to be the same. It's going to be the same. Tuma. You've got the formula now. The qaf with the dhamma on and a lam with a sukoon. You can do the rest. I think that's all they need. Each irregular verb will have its own adjustment that's needed. You put it in and say, ooh, what's the adjustment for that? You have to go look it up. Yes, yes. Somebody's on capital TS. It's fine. Yes, it's the same. The tuma is the same as katabatum. Katabatuma. It's the same thing. Tuma is the same. This one, yeah, yeah, carry on. Give people more time. So in the regular one, it'd be katabatunna. Tunna, look at the ending, tunna. So it's going to be qul tunna. Qul tunna. Okay. The recording will be out, inshallah. So if you're struggling, yeah, inshallah, listen to it slowly in your own time. You have any questions, ask the discussion group or ask me. Right? Next one. If you've done last week's table really well, then inshallah this is fitting in. Qultu. Qultu. Like khalaqtu. Like katabtu. Remember the tu ending. Qultu. Qultu, I said. I'm just giving you the answers now instead of asking you. Go back. Right. What's the next one? Exactly. Like katabna, it's going to be qulna. And this one is the same. Qulna. Okay, so that is one verb done. In your test, I'm going to ask you some of this verb, some of the next verb we're going to do, inshallah, 2 verbs. I think that's how it is in the test. And you just got to be able to translate. So the endings are the same as long as you know qul means to say, or qala means to say, then you should be able to figure it out from the ending. The endings are the same as last week. The same table, past tense verb table. The only thing is, it's an irregular verb. Irregular verb doesn't fit into the table exactly. It needs some adjustment to be made. Once you've got the adjustment, you're laughing. Good question. Do all adjustments happen here? This person's asking, do all adjustments happen here? And as far as I know, the answer is no. Could happen anywhere. You might sail past this one because the middle letter, the first letter might be, not sort of fighting with the last letter of the noon. So it might work in harmony, but you might get adjustment here. Yeah? It's a good question. But yeah, you get different adjustments in different places, depending on what the verb is, and where the root letter is, the weak one, and which one it is and where it is. Good question though, sister. It's a matter of making the word sound better, yeah? Maybe it comes from that. A lot of tajweed is what's easy on the tongue to say. Like, I'm sorry, like, for example, kitabikum, or kitabihu. It's not kitabihu, it's just like kitabi and then hu. It's kitabihi because of the bi. Kitabu, now it's hu, kitabuhu. So a lot is what is easy on the tongue. Sometimes you can figure it out yourself and say, that's difficult, it might be something else. And then you can think of a word in the Quran. Oh yeah, that Quran, that comes in the Quran. Yeah, it's this. You might know it from there. So yeah, it's a lot of times it's what's easy on the tongue. Sounding better or easy. Right? And I think how many slides we've got left after this? We've just got one more slide. And then chutti, holiday. Right, but we're going to still use that 1 hour, inshallah, because we've got work to do. We've got to look at verses and see what this is happening. So I think I should give you all 10 minutes, have a nice long break, have some tea, put the kids to bed, whatever you want to do. Have a chat with this person sat next to you. Okay, so we'll meet at 8:40, so 10 minutes, inshallah. UK time, 8:40, we'll meet in 10 minutes, inshallah. Jazakumullah khairan, see you soon, inshallah. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah, Jazakumullah khairan. We're all back and I hope you guys have read your Salah or fed the kids, so put the kids to bed, had your tea, had your rusks, I like rusks. And yeah, so we continue from here. Right, so we were here, okay, we've just done this table, we've got 1 hour left. This is the amount of times these words come in the Quran. That's why these words are mentioned here. The irregular, look, 528 times he said in the Quran. Qalu, 332 times. You can look at the words and tell which ones are the ones you need to learn. if you're really struggling, drop all the duals in the whole course. If you're struggling, drop all the duals in the whole course. You'll still get by. Look, duals come 3 times, 2 times, okay? Not that much. These come none, but we're learning the table, so we've done the whole thing. As far as I could search, they come nones. 27 times this one, and these combined 7 times. So, qala is the most important one, and qalu. Remember them two. Qalat even. Qulna hasha lillah comes once in the Quran. If you don't know it, then you're going to think, what's qulna mean? If you have an idea, qala is the verb qala, you could maybe figure it out, but yeah. The more you learn, the better your understanding of the Quran will be, inshallah. Right, so we've done this one. That's the boy-girl version, the feminine masculine version. People in the course, they seem to like this. Sister gave me the idea. She did hers like that. So Jazahallah khair to the sister. Jazaha Allah khair. Jazahallah khair to the sister. So I've nicked her idea and I've put it in mine. She knows. So this one's very good because it just shows the male and female ones. Right. Next. Right. So look at this verb now. Kana. This is the only other verb we're doing, irregular verb. Kana has got an alif in there. It's irregular. It's irregular. We're going to have a problem with kana as well. We just need to suss out what that adjustment is, where it comes, and maybe the rest of it is nice and easy. So, non-Arabs, and especially not the super duper Arab, right? What is the first one here? What goes here? So when we have a really tough question, I don't know the answer, then we go and ask the super duper Arabs. And then maybe they can just like sort us out and answer it. Excellent. Okay, so the root word is kana. So the root word always goes here. Kana. Kana means he was. In the Quran, kana min al-jinni. Talking about Iblis, the shaitan. Kana min al-jinni. Now you to translate. Kana, he was. Min, from al-jinni, the jinn. Right? He wasn't an angel. He was a jinn. Kana min al-jinni. So you should be able to understand that now. If once you learn kana. Kana, he was. Right. Next one. So, kataba, kataba, qala, qala. Because this and qala have both got alif in the middle, you might find the adjustment is the same or very similar. They're similar, both qala and kana are both similar because the middle letter is alif. So, sister is saying kana with like plenty of A's. Excellent. Kana. Again. Kataba, kataba. That's all it is. What's the next one? What do we do to the third person? What do we add on? Yeah, learn both tables. Learn both, but it's just the adjustment you have to learn, really. The rest, the endings are all the same as last week. Kanu, okay, yeah. Kanu with 50 million zeros. Or Kanu, again. Kafaru, fasaqu, zalamu, kafaru, qalu, kanu. Same. No problem so far. No problem so far. Kana, kana, kanu. So far it fits. No problem. Next one. What's the next one? Yep. Katabat becomes kanat. So kana, kana, kanu, kanat. Again, the endings are all the same for past tense verbs. It's just sometimes an irregular verb, you're going to have to make some adjustment because it's not going to fit. Next one is this one here. Fantastic, fantastic. Kanata, kanata. Now here we said qala, qala. We had a problem here with qala. We had a problem here, remember? So, non-Arabs only, and especially no super Arab, right? What is here? Kunta, kuna, kuna, kanu, kanu, kauna. Okay, so people are struggling. I'm not getting the same answer. For these, I was getting the same answer, nice and easy. Over here, what happens? Kunna. So the noon of kana combines with the noon ending of this part. So you get kunna, yeah? In qala, it was qulna, because a lam and a noon. But here, kana already has a noon inside it. So when you join it with another noon, it becomes kunna, right? So that's the adjustment you needed to make for this verb. You could maybe figure it out. Quite a few people did put kunna. So, right? So kunna is the adjustment here. I think in the test, I test on all. I've got the test written down on paper. I've not got them in Google Forms. I put it in before Monday. Right, so I don't have it in front of me, but I think I'm going to test you on a combination of qala and kana. The main thing is the ending. You know the ending, you should be able to know what the verb is, and you should be able to figure it out. The main thing is the ending from last week, same endings. So kunna. Right, so let's go with this one now. Carrying on that pattern, what do you think this one's going to be? Okay, so some people are saying kanata, kanata. Other people are saying kunta. So, yeah, I understand why you're saying kanata. But it is kunta. You're carrying on from, that's why qala and kana are very similar. They have the same adjustment at the same point, which is here. And now the rest are going to follow. Right, so what's this one? Right, and you might have heard some of these words in the Quran. You might say, oh yeah, I know that one, it's in the Quran. Kuntuma. Kuntuma. Right? Next one. Yes, and how many times have you seen the next one in the Quran? Kuntum khayra, kuntum khayra ummatin ukhrijat linnas. I think that's what it is. Kuntum, I can't think of any other verse at the moment with kuntum. So kuntum, right? Kuntum means you all were. So someone might say, Kuntum kafirin, you all were disbelievers, talking to those people who became Muslim, you know. Kuntum zalimin, you all were baddies, oppressors. So, kuntum, next one. This should be easier now. You've got the formula, you've got the, Dhamma's coming there. Bish. Kunti, yeah. Kunti means you were to a woman. Next one. Remember, the endings are the same as the regular table. The endings don't change. It's just the something at the start of the verb, it changes because it's not going to fit. Again, kuntuma, it's the same. Katabtuma, it's the same. Last one, next one. So here, the sister who talked in the break, that noon shad has come now because verb kana has two noons. That has one noon and then the noon of feminine women. So that one gets a shad, just for this case, just for this verb. So, okay, good one. Yes, kuntunna, like katabtunna, kharajtunna, raja'tunna, kuntunna. Good. Next one, this one should be easy. Exactly. Carry on. Yep. I was. How do you say I was? Inni kuntu min al-zalimin. La ilaha illa anta subhanaka. Inni, indeed I, kuntu, I was, min al-zalimin, from those who oppress, from the oppressors, oppressors. So you see, it's coming, it's coming. Kuntu means I was. Remember, the tu means I did. I did that verb. So I was. The verb is to be, so I beed, I was. So you say was because that's how you say it in English. You won't say I beed good. I was good. Oh, just wrongly revealed it. Yep, good. This one. Yep, kunna. Now, what's happening there is the na He's getting a shad on it because there's already a na there. Na ending is for we, but this verb has a noon there. So you have to join them both. So kunna is the way you say it. Right? And again, kunna. 40 minutes left, and we've done the slide. That's just 1 second. Just before we do that, let me just show you how many times these words are coming in the Quran. Kana min al-jinni 421. Kanu 269. These particular words. Kuntum 199. Kunta or kunti or kuntu 55. Kunna 79. If you're struggling in the whole course, if you're struggling, drop the duals. Forget about the duals because they don't come that much. Look. But learn the whole thing because it's the pattern. Kana, kana, kanu, kanat, kanata, kunna. It's the pattern. So learn them all. But if you really find it easy that, oh, I'm struggling, then just drop all the duals. So this table, yeah, these are the adjustments for this table. Mainly the kaf gets a dhamma here. And the qaf in qala also got the dhamma here. And then the rest, kunta, it follows. The rest is all the same. But yeah, you're going to have this, you have to join two, when you combine two letters at the same, you're going to have to put a shad on it. So that's the adjustments for this one. Bro Rainbow, where's Bro Rainbow gone? Not seen Bro Rainbow for a long time. Right, so again, super important. And this is the male, female version. Yeah. Right, that was it. So the main thing was there's such thing called weak verbs. Weak verbs are any letter that has the alif, the waw, or the ya in the root verb. Or if the second and the third letter of the root verb are the same. Why we call them weak is because they're going to give us a problem. The problem is they don't just slot into the regular past tense verb table. Some problem occurs because of the weak letters. As a result, you have to make some modification. The endings are all the same, but you have to make some modification to the start of the verb in order to make it work, in order to make it fit. That's why it's weak. So you just have to learn the weak adjustments. And we're just going to do qala and kana. That's it. So you're going to get tested with words that are qala words and kana words, inshallah. Right? And now let's see where it's used. So this is in the Quran now. قَالَ هَذَا رَبِّي هَذَا أَكْبَرُ. Okay, so please try not to look at your answers. I know your answers are all in the booklet. قَالَ. What's قَالَ mean? We've just done it. Look at your table. Feel free to look at your qala and kana table. Look at them because it's all part of the learning. I don't expect you to know it right now. Look at them and this is practice. So qala means, okay, he said. Okay. Hadha. We've done hadha lesson 1. This is. Rabbi. What's Rabbi? We've done this in lesson 4 or 5. Rabbi. The ya makes it my. So my. Rabbi means my Lord. He said, this is my Lord. Hadha. This is Akbar. Have we done? We've done Kabir, remember? Kabir. Big. Yeah? Kabir. Big. Akbar means bigger. It's the pattern that you get that verb and you put it in the Akbar pattern. It makes it into bigger, greater. So here it's greater. Great, greater. I'm just going to go to my translation because I can't see the screen fully. Greater. Yeah. Right, so look, if you've done the course, if you've done your learning, you can translate this part of the verse. This is Ibrahim alayhi salam talking in the Quran, yeah? قَالَ هَذَا رَبِّي هَذَا أَكْبَرُ. He said, this is my Lord, this is greater. Is it greater here? Yeah, greater. That's where I get Allahu Akbar from. Allah is greater. He's greater than our work. He's greater than the dunya. He's greater than that thing that was preoccupying us. He's greater than the TV. He's greater than everything. Allah is greater. And some translate it as greatest. Okay, next one. Qala. Again, look how many times qala is coming. Qala, he said. Ana. This little circle there means you don't pronounce the alif. You just say ana. It's not, normally you say ana because that's what it's written. But on here, you don't, the circle there is showing that you don't pronounce the alif, so it's ana. Ana. Ana means me. Ana bi khair. I'm fine. Ana. He said, qala, he said, ana, I am khairun. What's khairun? Khairun. Khair. Better. Okay, literally, minhu. What's minhu mean? Literally, we've done it. Min and hu. This is two words here. Min and hu. Min means from, literally. And hu means him. Remember? Kitabuhu, masjiduhu, Lamborghinihu. Remember that one? Hu means his. Right? So minhu, him. So minhu, from him, literally. But now in the context of the sentence, you're going to say, in English, if you say from him, you know, it's, in the sentence, it doesn't sound like Englishy. So better than him. So Iblis, he said, I am better than him. Better from him, meaning if you in your mind, if you know from him, you'll know what it means. Better than him. Happy? This is all words now we pretty much know. And I just want to show you that Arabic, that's one that I said. Remember in the first lesson I was saying that the Quran is basically, what is it now? Last one that I made it easy. And the thing is, if we were doing another language, in 5 2-hour lessons or 6 2-hour lessons, you wouldn't be this far. That you can understand written statements. You can understanding verses of the Quran, parts of verses of the Quran. You wouldn't be able to do this in other languages. But the Quran is Quran. And you wouldn't be able to do this with a new Arabic newspaper. Arabic newspaper, forget it. It's like, whoa, what is this? But Quran is beautiful. Quran is easy. You'll never be able to do this in a, read a newspaper Arabic. But the Quran is something else. Last month that I said it, remember? Right. قالت, what's قالت? Okay, you already, she said, remember? قالت, the ta. قالت, she said, Rabbi. It means my Lord. It's like Rabbi, but it's, the ya's come off, right? Rabbi. You can tell because there's no majrurifier before it and it's majrur, right? So something is going on. It's Rabbi, but Rabbi. The ya's been taken off. قالت, she said, Rabbi, my Lord. Inni, surely I, exactly. ظلمت, ظلمت. Literally, ظلمت means ظلم, I did ظلم, right? The tu means I did that verb. So ظلمت, I did wrong. Nafsi, nafsi mean my, nafs, my self, soul, myself. So she said, my Lord, indeed I have wronged myself. If you've done your revision, obviously qalat, obviously we're doing it today, but I'm showing you, look how many, where it's coming in the Quran, how many times it's coming in the Quran, without which you won't be able to understand the sentence. Who said this? Can't remember. I'll have a look at the context. I don't know, sorry. Qala. Qala. What's qala? Look at your tables. Qala. Good. They both said. Rabbana. Our Lord. Exactly. Rabbana. our Lord. ظلمنا ظلمنا ظلمنا. ظلم, he did wrong, but who did wrong? Na, we did wrong. كتبنا, رجعنا, yeah, we did wrong. أنفسنا, أنفسنا, to ourselves, our souls, ourselves. قال ربنا ظلمنا أنفسنا. So they both said, and that's Adam alayhi salam and Hawa alayhi salam, as far as I remember, right? وقالوا, oh, قالوا comes so many times. قالوا, وقالوا, please, وقالوا. Look at your translation. Look at your table. And they said, وقالوا, and they said. سمع means to hear. He heard, but it's سمعنا means we heard. We heard. وأطعنا. طاعة. What's طاعة? أطيعوا الله وأطيعوا رسول. أطيعوا الله وأطيعوا رسول. Obey. Obey Allah and obey the Messenger. Even in Urdu say itaat karo. Means follow. Obey. So أطعنا وأطعنا. They said, we heard and obeyed. That's literally it, past tense. There's a other font. We're just going to spend that time. I don't want to stop early and go home because we're already at home, mostly. And the other thing is, we've still got 30 minutes left. Right, so, وَإِذْ. Oh, 27 minutes. Right, وَإِذْ. Because really, this is what we're doing it for. So we can do this. So I'd like to give these ayahs time. And when, sometimes it translates as, the different translators translate as when, sometimes translate it, okay, over here it's translated as and behold. Right, so and behold. So some translate as and when, which is the best translation? It's a good question. You got some accurate translations, and you got some other translations that flow easily on the tongue and are easy to read. So I think Sahih International is a good one. Sahih International, right? Allah alam. Right. So وَإِذْ and behold, قُلْنَا, please, قُلْنَا. We said. للملائكة. It's li al-malaikati. Li al-malaikati. What's that mean? What's that li do? Okay. To the angels. The li makes this one majroor. للملائكة. Yeah, majroorifier. That's right. Majroorifier. Yeah, that's right. What did Allah... okay. And behold, we said to the angels. So, tisjudu. Really, this word is usjudu, but when you join it on, it becomes tisjudu. So what's tisjudu? It's got the word sajada in there. What's sajada mean? To prostrate. But it's a command. We've not done this command yet, but look at the ending. It's similar. We know this ending is plural. It's a plural ending. Like katabu, qalu. But this is, it's another type of word. This is a command verb. Command, it's a command form. Fi'l amri, you call it in Arabic. It means it's a command. So we'll do command inshallah later on. So when he said to the angels, usjudu, tisjudu, we said to the angels, oh, have I not written it? Okay. Have I not written it? Okay, it's just supposed to be وَإِذْ قُلْنَا لِلْمَلَائِكَةِ. I put usjudu. Usjudu means prostrate. I've not put that on, so I need to correct that slide. وَإِذْ قُلْنَا لِلْمَلَائِكَةِ, and we said, behold, we said to the, and behold, we said to the angels. Next one, وَإِذْ قُلْتُمْ. وَإِذْ means, وَإِذْ, translated as here, and behold, so I'm just going to stick to the translation in the book. And behold, قُلْتُمْ. Look at your tables, قُلْتُمْ, قُلْتُمْ. Not they all said. That's قالوا. قالوا is they all said. You all said, قُلْتُمْ. قُلْتُمْ, you all said. Ya Musa. Ya means or. So, and behold, you all said, O Musa. The translation says you said. But you can't get the depth in English. It's not you said, it's you all said. Qultum is you all said. Qulta is you said. But, you know, you have to make it sound right in English, so you just say you said. But it's really you all said. Ta means you. Ta means you. Second person. Tum means you all. Wakana. Now wakana's coming now. Wakana. What's wakana mean? Wakana and kana, root word. And he was. And he was. Remember, the verb is to be. So kana means he to be. Right, in English you say he was. He be was. He was be. So you just say he was. He was. Wakana. And he was min. What's min mean? From. The reason why this is a na here is because it's joining onto the lam sukoon. You don't have two sukoons in Arabic together. Something has to give. Something gets a haraka. So here, the min, because al-kafirin is coming next, it becomes minal. It's still min. So minal means from. Al-kafirin, we all know what kafirin means. Disbelievers. Now we know what case this is. What case is kafirin? Marfu, mansub, or majroor. It can be mansub or majroor according to the table, but this verse shows us which one it is. It's majroor. And why is it majroor? Because of because of the min. Min is a majroorifying word. It majroorifies the next word. Does it change literal meaning? No. If you wrote min al-kafirun, it still means, but you're saying it wrong. Yeah? You're saying it wrong. You're saying it in a way that's breaking the rules of grammar. Instead of saying school, you're saying school, la, 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 or something like this. You're saying it wrong. It's still understandable, but you're saying it wrong. You're not supposed to read Quran like that. So it doesn't change the meaning though. The meaning still, it's not a verbal sentence, or you know, from this particular part here, it's not. Sometimes if you make the case wrong, it doesn't change the meaning, literal meaning. Sister on the cam, Sabina, just to let you know so you can turn it off. Right. So, and he was from amongst the disbelievers, and he was from the disbelievers. Innaha, okay, innaha. Innaha is two words, inna and ha, both combined. Innaha. What does that mean? Indeed she was. In the translation it's written here, surely she was, so we'll just stick with surely. But yeah, indeed and surely pretty much the same thing. Surely she was, okay, innaha, feminine, remember? Kitabuha, baytuha, masjiduha, her masjid. Innaha, indeed, she. Kanat, she was, yeah. She was, indeed she was. Min, yep, from. Qawmin, we've done qawmin, yes. People. Kafirin, kafirin, disbelievers. It's majroor. It's taking its majroorness from this word here. I don't know. Taking its majroorness from here. So indeed, she was from the people who were disbelievers. I think it's talking about the Bilqis, the story of Sulaiman alayhi salam, I think. Right. Look at this. The dua of Yunus alayhi salam. La ilaha. So la, this la with the alif, la, it means no, no. The la by itself, one count, no, that's different meaning. That actually means, it means the opposite. It means really, truly, it's emphasis. But that sticks onto the starting of a noun for that to take place, right? So this one, la means not. Ilaha, what's ilaha? God. No God. Illa. Illa means, we've not learned illa, but let's learn it now. Except. So la ilaha, no God, illallah, except Allah. When you're doing your dhikr of la ilaha illallah, try thinking, that's what I try to do, is try imagine it. I mean, try to think about the meaning. La ilaha, no God, illallah, except Allah. So I think of it in two sections. La ilaha, no God, anywhere. Illallah, except Allah. So la ilaha, no God, illa, except anta. Anta, we've done it. You. Just a matter of learning. Yes, you're going. It's all new to you. It takes time to sink in, but this is how it gets stronger. While you go look at the words and you think about it and you struggle and you think, what is it? And oh, I don't know this one. Go and check it. Oh, go and check your table. Oh, yes. And the more you do that, the more you're going to get fluent and start learning it. You're only going to really start learning it once you start applying it every day in the Quran. Yeah. Allah. So la ilaha, there's no God illa except anta, you. Subhanaka, subhanaka, sabaha, subhanaka. That ka is you, masculine terminology. Glory be to you. Okay, that ka is you. Subhanaka, glory be to you. Inni, indeed I, kuntu. Kuntu, it's a table, it's a kana one. Certainly, yes. Kuntu, what's kuntu mean? I was. Kuntu means I was. Min, from. Al-Zalimina, those who do wrong. And if a prophet is saying that, then what about us? So Prophet Yunus alayhi salam in the belly of the whale is reading this dua, right? So look, you can pretty much understand it. La ilaha illa anta subhanaka inni kuntu min al-zalimin. We've got 15 minutes left yet. I'm not letting you go yet. You've got to stay all the way to the end. I can see who's logging. I can see people when they log off. Well, I can see number go down. But if I do, you're busy, you're busy. Right, but the rest of you got to stay. This is the last slide, but I'm still going to do some extra to fill up that time. Right, if we finish. Right, kanu, please. People, kanu. Very important one. They were. They were. Muslimin. Muslims. Yeah, kanu muslimin. They were Muslims. Next one. Kanu again. So why they put that kaf like this and why not like that? I just copied it from the Quran, how it is with manuscript. There may be some reason, all the words in the Quran, the letters, I don't know, that if there's any difference between them or the same. But when even the letters, the way the words are written are all precisely Quran. They don't think it's just like muhsinin, just like, no, muhsinin, the way it's even written, right? There's some words that why they're written like this, it's just that's how they were written at that time. So the Sahaba, they kept it the same. So anyway, Kanu, Yes, what a fantastic idea. Who gave me that idea? This is from full stop. Just a full stop. It's just a full stop there, right? They've said, can we go through last week's sentences, please? Yes, that's what I did. If we've got enough time, inshallah, because last week's sentences are very important. It shows you who the doer is. So yes, Jazakallah khair. Talk about people not wanting to put their names. Full stop. Right. So that is. Kanu, they were. Qabla, we've done qabla. Before. Urdu word. Qabla. Before. Dhalika. What's dhalika mean? First lesson. Dhalika. That. Also, qabla dhalika means before that. Ba'da dhalika means after that. So qabla dhalika, they come together. Qabla dhalika, before that. So they all were, before that, muhsinin. That's fine, you don't have to write your name. Jazakallah khair. That's fine. Right, so they were, before that, muhsinin, doers of good. Muhsinin means doers of good. Right? Qalu, again, look, how many times qala and kana verbs are coming? They're coming all over. Qalu, they all said. Subhana. Subhana, glory. Rabbina. Rabbina, our Lord. Glory be to our Lord. Inna, inna. So it's inna is inna, and then a na, a noon, another noon. So it's not just indeed, inna is indeed. Or even certainly. Yeah, certainly we. Indeed we. The inna means indeed we. That's right. Sometimes in the adhans you might hear people reading Ashhadu anna Muhammadan, but instead of Ashhadu anna Muhammadan, they say Ashhadu anna Muhammadan. And that means I bear witness I bear witness that we Muhammadan. So it's not right. I need to say anna Muhammadan. I bear witness that, not that we. Make it longer, you can make it into that we. Right? So Ashhadu anna Muhammadan. It's a common, you hear it. Ashhadu anna Muhammadan. Say, right, so inna, indeed we. Kunna means we were. Yes, we were. Zalimin, wrongdoers. Someone's asking, why is it Rabbina? Rabbina, Subhana Rabbina. Let's see. I can't think of it right now, but inshallah I'll have a look for you. Get back to you, inshallah. They're not all like easy. You need to know the rules and you need to know what's going on, and it's like that. It's like I can't read the Quran without the fatah and makasras. Maybe I can figure out some parts, but as my teacher, can you do it? He goes, pretty much. So that's very good, right? So sometimes it's a bit tricky. You have to sit down and think about it and get some help off the internet sometimes. Corpus Quran. That's a good website to find out things like this. Corpus, Corpus, Gap Quran. Do a Google search on that and you should get to that website and then have a look. وَكَانَ اللَّهُ وَكَانَ وَكَانَ and he was Allah. Allahu and Allah was Ghafuran. So I think it translates as Allah is. Allah has been. Okay, we'll keep it to that. وَكَانَ Allahu and Allah has been Ghafuran, forgiving, Rahiman, merciful. Sometimes the past verb is used for the present and it sort of makes it stronger. And one of the things a past verb does, if it's used in a present context, it makes the thing stronger. Like when you get married, the nikah thing it says nakahtu. Nakahtu means I married, but you're not married yet. It's, the girl's just there and it's not happened yet. You're not married yet, but it's written nakahtu. It means I married, right? So it's making it stronger. And then, because if you write I am marrying, and then you write that in the contract, I am marrying this person, and then 5 days later, look at the contract, it says I am marrying this person, signed. It's like, did you marry her then? But when you say nakahtu, I married, you're not even married her yet, you're marrying her. You put nakahtu, it means I have married. It makes it stronger. It's pakka, as they say in Urdu, right? Stronger. So when you look back at it and say, yeah, I've married, it's concrete, right? So sometimes the Arabic uses the past tense to talk about a present tense, makes it stronger and more sort of, stronger. Right. So are we done? Are we done? 8 minutes left. Not letting you go yet. 8 minutes. All right, 8 minutes. These again now are the root words I'm going to ask you to learn for next week. Yeah. So you have to learn these, inshallah. غفر يغفر. It means forgive. He forgave, he forgives. That's where you get ghafur from. That's where you get ghafir from, and etc. So 135 times that ghafara appears in its different permutation combinations, roughly. Qala, look at qala, 892 times. Qala yaqulu. Yaqulu is how you say it in present tense. We're going to do present tense, inshallah, next week, I think. So qala means he said, and yaqulu, he says. Again, if you want to learn qala, learn them together. Qala and the present one again together, because you're going to find out, inshallah, next week why it's good to learn the present tense way of saying it with the past tense. There's a reason. So if you can, fine. If you can't, just learn the past tense. Qala yaqulu. He said, he says. Next one, dhakara yadhkuru. He remembered to mention. He remembered, he remembers. That's where you get dhikr from, dhikr, and dhakir, and other words. Dhikrun. Okay. Next one, akhadha ya'khudhu. Akhadha means to take, 183 times. Akhadha. Is every root word masculine? Yes, every root word is masculine. He did it. Ghafara, he forgave. Qala, he said. Dhakara, he remembered. Akhadha, he took. It's always singular, third person, masculine. That's where the root word lives. Amara. Amara means to command. Wa'mur bil ma'ruf. Command. So amara ya'muru means he commanded, he commands. 265 times. Hasiba yahsabu. ولا تحسبن الذين قتلوا في سبيل الله أموات. Do not ولا تحسبن الذين قتلوا في سبيل الله أمواتا, I think, right? Do not think of the people who have been killed in the way of Allah as dead. Nay, they are alive with their Lord and their provision, right? So hasiba, so hasiba, to think. And even in Urdu, when you say do hisab, what you're doing when you're doing the hisab of your shop or of your business, you're thinking. So you're reckoning, you're thinking. يوم يقوم الحساب, the day of reckoning. 97. Hayya, to live. Hayat dunya. Hayya, Yahya means to live. 43. Mata yamutu, we know that word from maut. Maut. Yeah? Kullu nafsin dhaikatul maut. Maut is from mata. Mata yamutu means, in Urdu as well, we say maut. It's death. It's to die. Kafara yakfuru. We've done this one 478 times. Kafara means to disbelieve, can also mean to hide. Right? Nasara yansuru means to help. That's where you get the Ansar from. The Ansar, who are the Ansar? They're the people who helped the Prophet ﷺ. They were the Ansar from Nasara. Nasara means to help. They were the helpers, Ansar. Nasir, Nasir, Mansur, they all come from Nasara. I think Mansoor is with the Sad. Not sure about that one, I'll have to check. Right. Nazala, yanzilu. It sort of sounds like it. Nazala, to descend, to come down. Nazala, yanzilu. And that's why in Urdu we say nazla, which means you got a runny nose. What's nose doing? What's the nose doing? The thing inside the nose is coming down, isn't it? Right? So, yeah, nazala. Inna anzalnahu fi laylatil qadr. Indeed, we sent it down. Fi laylatil qadr, in the night of Qadr. So nazala yanzilu means to descend. And wajada yajidu means to find. Wajada yajidu means to find. He found. We've got 3 minutes left. I think we're going to have to end it. We're going to end it in 3 minutes, inshallah. Don't worry. So this is the test. Not the test. This is the homework. How can you tell if a verb is weak? Hint, hint. These things might be in the test. Write the past tense verb table for qala and kana to give you practice. Learn the past tense verb tables just written. Learn all the verbs in the vocabulary list. So I'm hoping that was an easier lesson. As the sister Dot said, this is lesson 5. These are lesson 5 verbs. We've got 3 minutes left, so I just want to see if we can just do one. We did this last week. Let's just even do another one somewhere there. Like Sami Allahu, yeah, Sami'ah, he heard. Allah, so Allah heard. Allah is doing the verb. Let's see if I can find some easy ones. Okay, I think we'll do this one, inshallah. Qala, qala. He said, Ana. We're doing Ana today. I. Khayrun. Better. So I am better. Minhu. From him. Okay, from him, you know what it means. I am better than him. Look now, last week's lesson. Khalaqtani. So look at this. Khalaqta is the first word. Ni is the second. Khalaqta. What does khalaqta mean? Khalaqta. Ah, beautiful. It's beautiful. If you can understand this, it's beautiful. Khalaqta means you created. You created. And then ni is the E. Okay, that noon, but this one, the noon has come. Why? If that noon wasn't there, this word would become khalaqti, which doesn't make sense because khalaqta means you created. You have to protect that ta. You have to protect the fatha of that ta. So if I put a ya there, it will become khalaqti. That's not, khalaqti is not the word. Khalaqti doesn't mean you created me. You have to keep the khalaqta there. So to keep the khalaqta there, the noon of protection comes. Noon al-wiqaya, I think it is the noon of protection. What that does is it protects that ta to keep the fatha, and this noon gets the kasra, so it protects the verb, it protects the ending. Don't worry about it if you didn't get that. Khalaqtani means you created me. Min, from, narin, fire. Wa khalaqtahu, beautiful. Wa khalaqta, again, what's wa khalaqta? And you created. And then the who? Him. So I love it even now. Alhamdulillah. وَخَلَقْتَهُ, and you created him. Min, from, teen, clay. So can you see how you need to know the past tense, how you need to know the endings, and how you need to know the past? Did anyone love that? And did they find that they can pretty much understand that with a bit of help, maybe? So it's not only me, but I'm just loving that. I'm just loving that. Love that. That you can do khalaqtani, you created me. It's got 2 words in there, and you can do it. You've learned the tables. I mean, you've got the information to be able to do that. It's a matter of just learning it, yes, and practice. Okay, we've gone over 9:31. Jazakallah khair. I'm going to end it there. جزاكم الله خيرا. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. Please do the homeworks. Please do the qala and kana verbs and learn your vocabulary. And feel free to ask any questions in the discussion group or to me directly. Just go for it. You've got another 4 lessons left after this. Just give it all. Give it all. Give it all before Ramadan. This is it. Yeah. Final. We come across over halfway point. We're running now. We need to run, accelerate, and just do whatever we can. So we'll see. I'll see you next week. We'll meet next week, inshallah. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.